Last week in the UNPL, we continued our win streak with a nice 2-0 victory against Obo and the Morpeko United, which makes me very happy because he's a player that I haven't beat in 4 years, which is really cool. But this week we are up against a completely different challenge. We have ourselves Scrub Supreme and the Florida Dirge. Now, the reason that Scrub is such an awkward opponent for me is because I feel like they have the matchup on me very, very easily and heavily in their favour. And of course, they are, once again, a very, very good player. So if I'm not careful, I will get swept away. They have some very big threats, and they are also on a very solid winning run. But hopefully, this week, the Solihull Skarmours are going to dent that. I have a plan, I have a game plan, and hopefully it is going to work out in my favour this week. So, without further ado, welcome to week 8 of the UNPL. Let's go! Now, as always, if you do want to skip forward and completely ignore the Teambuilder section, the timestamp for you to do so will be on screen right about now and in the chapter section on the screen at the bottom. So if you want to ignore it, feel free to click through and go straight to the battle. But if you want to stick around, let's find out what I've decided to bring, shall we? Now the matchup will appear on screen right about now. And as you can see, that is a Chien Pao. That is all I need to say. Chien Pao is a massive problem because it 2-hit KOs absolutely everything that I can bring with the right moveset, and it is just an absolute monster. So I'm not having fun here. It outspeeds everything I have and basically just runs riot through me. So yeah, fun times. There's also a very scary supporting cast in the likes of that Clefable, Gliscor, Empoleon. Mienshao is also a massive problem for me, and there is a Ceruledge which looks like it could become a very big problem if I don't pack some very specific answers to it. But I've got a game plan. I feel like I have a good idea of how I can take this team down, and I'm looking forward to sharing it all with you. So, let's get into Mon number 1, shall we? And Mon number 1 is going to be Ruler of Wind, the Quaquaval. And the reason we've gone with Ruler of Wind this week is because choice-banded water moves look very, very good into this team. They have very few switch-ins to a banded water move, being Regidrago and Sinistcha, and Empoleon, of course, but Empoleon doesn't want to take the fighting stab that I have on offer. So I feel like I can bust through some of the more regular responses, such as Clefable and Regidrago, using choice-banded hits. Luckily, I'm pretty good speed tier-wise, so I am able to outspeed the majority of my opponent's major threats, like the Ceruledge, which I speed tie with, and Gliscor, which I'm pretty sure has to go defensive this week, meaning that the only 2 things really on my opponent's team that can outspeed me are Mienshao and Chien Pao, which, funnily enough, both the mons that have A and O at the end of their names. I like that very much. But those 2 mons are the only things that can outspeed Ruler of Wind this week, but I'm not bringing it as a sweeper, I'm bringing it as a cleaner, a breaker basically, not a cleaner. I'm bringing it as a way to punch through my opponent's defensive answers and hopefully allow some of my other Pokemon to go a little bit ham. So, if I'm able to get that done, then I will be in a very good position. So, Ruler of Wind is taking on a little bit of a different role this week. And Mon number 2 is going to be one of my star performers of the season, Chiyesus the Chiyu, who's going with a very interesting set this week of Choppleberry, Dark Pulse, Fire Blast, Substitute, and Flame Charge. Now, the cool thing about this set is with the EVs I have, I outspeed all of the major threats that I can outspeed. The only thing that I can't outspeed here would be something like Chien Pao and Mienshao, which obviously outspeed me naturally anyway. But I can get up substitutes against the likes of Clefable, against the likes of Ceruledge, against the likes of Regidrago, or any of the defensive mons that I bring this thing in on. I can set up a substitute, potentially go for a Flame Charge, and hopefully be able to 1v1 a Colbur Berry Ceruledge, which is what I'm predicting my opponent to bring as an answer to Chiyesus. So this way, I can go for substitute on the switch, I can then freely Dark Pulse the Ceruledge, as it tries to break my sub and then just basically get a free hit. It will reveal its set as it switches into me. If it is a Scarf set and it switches in on a substitute, it'll outspeed me and break my sub. But this set can absolutely win the game for me if I bring it in at the right time, and Jesus just looks absolutely insane against this team. So hopefully this set is going to do a lot of work for me this week. Now, Mon number 3 is going to be Lilia, the Ogerpon Cornerstone, with a very bog standard set this week again. Ivy Cudgel, Power Whip, Knockoff, Spikes. And the reason I'm bringing it this way is because it outspeeds Mienshao by 1 point and basically smashes everything with Terra Rock Ivy Cudgel. When it gets the boost from the Cornerstone Mask, it becomes an absolute nuke, basically doing base 120 damage times 2, which is absolutely crazy. I've also got the coverage here to hit very important targets. The Knockoff is very important to hit that Ceruledge. The Power Whip is very important to get damage on the likes of Empoleon and also hit Sand Slash for super effective damage if that thing decides to come. And it's just a good idea this week. I felt like just rock spam in general was very good against their team, and the few things that do resist rock do not appreciate a Power Whip. So Lilia hopefully is going to be a breaker and be able to punch through my opponent's defensive answers. Will she be able to do it? I really hope so, because I'm putting a lot of faith in her this week. Now, Mon number 3 is going to be the most physically defensive Iron Hands you've ever seen in your life. And the reason I'm bringing Iron Hands like this is because it is literally the only thing I have that can possibly try and hope to take on Chien-Pao. Nothing else on my team wants to do that. We've gone with Leftovers, Protect, Drain Punch, Ice Punch, Earthquake, and we've gone 252 Impish with 208 HP and a little bit of attack just to give me a base 100 attack stat. I thought that this was the only thing I really had that could possibly ever even hope of trying to switch into a Chien-Pao, and if it's heavy duty boots, I do take 3 Icicle Crashes and I can respond with a Drain Punch of my own. Ideally, I would have loved to have been able to fit Heavy Slam on, but I figured if Clefable comes, it is an opportunity for me to switch into Lilia or to switch into Chiyesus and get big damage off, and I do of course have Fernando, who, spoiler alert, that's going to be Mon number 5, we're bringing a Sylveon. But I'm going to be able to switch into Sylveon afterwards and just kind of spam through things with Hyper Voice. Clefable is of course going to be a problem, but if I'm able to break correctly and effectively at the right time, I should be able to be good against it. And Super Hands unfortunately does have to be locked into hitting Chien-Pao and being a dedicated switch into it, but it's able to do the job kind of effectively, and hopefully Leftovers Protect will allow me to at least keep myself a little bit sustained while I do that job. So Iron Hands, Super Hands is going to be a bit of a brick wall this week. Now, Mon number 5, as I so carelessly spoiled for you earlier, is going to be Sylveon, who's going with also Max Defense, Max Max. And the reason I've had to do Max Max is, once again, it allows me to at least take 1 hit from Chien-Pao, also allows me to switch into Mienshao fairly effectively, and in preparation for that Mienshao, I've also gone with a Kebia Berry this week, just to be able to take a Life Orb, Poison Jab, and respond in kind with a Hyper Voice, which will at least force out a Terra Mienshao. Shadow Ball is here to hit Ceruledge, because otherwise that thing comes in on me and starts setting up all over my face, which I don't really want because Ceruledge is nasty. And Wish Protect just to be able to keep the likes of Super Hands healthy and just kind of keep the team kind of healthy. It's also kind of necessary for me to bring Sylveon this week because it is able to deal with that Regidrago because it's basically a dedicated switch into it, and hopefully it's going to be able to get the job done this week. Sylveon is a very integral part of the team once again, and hopefully she's going to be able to do exactly what she needs to do. And the final Mon this week is going to be the absolute debut of the King Grumpig, Piggy Smalls himself, and we're going with a very interesting set this week on Grumpig. We're going with Max Defense, Max HP. It's a bit of a theme with this team. I want to be able to take hits from things, and we're going with no item on Grumpig this week, and that's because this guy is going to be my dedicated Ceruledge switch-in. It cannot poltergeist me if I don't have an item. It cannot hit me with Bitter Blade because I have Thick Fat and it does about 12%. I can Thunder Wave, Whirlwind, Reflect, and Power Gem to do super effective damage against the Ceruledge and just be able to bust through it or phase it out. There is the risk that Clefable comes in and abuses my passive nature on this thing and starts wish passing and keeping the team healthy, but unfortunately that is a risk I've had to take. Clefable does get overwhelmed quite quickly by a lot of my offense. Iron Hands, of course, can run that heavy slam. Fernando could be choice specs and 2-hit KOs. Lilia can obviously slap it with Ivy Cudgel. Chiizas blast it back with Fire Blast, and it wants nothing to do with my Quaquaval this week. So I'm hoping that just by the sheer presence of my team alone, I'm able to force Clefable to not show up in this matchup. I wouldn't bring it if I was my opponent, but I've been done over by some strange team building decisions this season already, and it could do me over again, but that is my only risk here. Piggy Smalls was a very good dedicated Ceruledge answer, basically cutting off its main source of damage with that stupid Poltergeist, and yeah, just able to really kind of utility all over the place. Piggy Smalls is a fun mon, and I'm hoping it does the job here this week. But that is the 6. Let me know if you think I should have done anything differently. Do you think I'm underprepared for certain threats? Do you think I could have done better in certain aspects? Let me know in the comments down below, and if not, validate me, because I need validation. But without further ado, it is time to find out what happened when we took on Scrub Supreme and the Florida Dirge this week in UNPL week number 9. Let's go, baby! Hello and welcome to Sunday Night Live with me, your host, OnesieBanette. And the reason we're here with Sunday Night Live is because unfortunately the UNPL curse of the EST has struck again. And I'm having to play this game at 1 AM, but my track record at 1 AM is surprisingly consistent, so we'll find out how this goes. Hopefully my tired, induced brain can come up with some mad genius plays to ensure that we win this game. Also, this comp has been created with the name of Week 7, when this is actually Week 8, so I hope that's not a sign of shenanigans to come. I hope that ASMR Onesie is going to be just the treat to help pull through. I'm going to put some nice fun audio effects onto my voice to make me sound very snazzy, so I hope you're all enjoying that right now. Yes, we are going to search and I will cut back to you when we're in the game. We have matched up with John, who didn't John me actually, he was promptly on time. Okay, so Ceruledge is here, which is why we have our no item Piggy Smalls. Honestly, if I lose this game, I'm not too disappointed. We have Terra Ogre for a reason, but this is just one of those games that it's just going to be difficult. I think it's just going to be difficult. I didn't bring a Scarf, so Chien Pao always kind of dunks me. I think maybe I lead Lilia and Terra. Yeah, I think Lilia's my lead. Scary game, scary times. Oh, I like the trainer card. I respect that. Was that a Copperage's head I saw peeking out from the top? Miyagi, that's Mienshao. Okay. So unless this is Scarf, they always basically live a hit. And this thing can be Terra, but if it is Scarf, it goes for U-turn here and never kills me. So basically I'm free to get a hit on something here. Oh, I want a Terra, but I also don't want to give this thing a free hit, so I think I just Power Whip right here. And I get information about this thing's item. because it's never going to kill me in one hit. You're going to withdraw immediately. Okay. So I get a big power whip off on Snips over here, which is the Gliscor. Or I don't, because I miss, which is excellent. It's exactly what you want turn 1 of the game, isn't it? It is absolutely fine. I'm going to go hard out into Ruler of Wind here. Because I don't really have anything else that wants to threaten this thing. I could really have terrored and then just bonked it, but I don't want to risk it. It's going to Earthquake. Okay. I'm going to flip turn. Because they don't know my set. Yep, that is amazing. Clefable comes in. Okay. So, no helmet or anything. That looks like he did about a third. Yeah, that's fully Fizz Death. And that means Jesus gets to come in. Which is exactly, and it's also leftovers. That is perfect. Clefabulous. So my Flare Blast has a good chance to kill here. So I'm going to sub. I'm going to withdraw, so that's a free sub. Ahsoka. Yeah. So now I get a guaranteed free Dark Pulse on this thing. Which I will outspeed, and I will one-shot. Colder, that is fine. It doesn't do, it does about half. Probably going to go for combat here. No, Bitter Blade. Okay. Damn it. Okay, so it does break my sub with a Bitter Blade. It gets a little bit of health back. Okay. So it's got to have some investment. How do I handle this right here? Do I just Dark Pulse again? Because realistically, you let this thing go down now. Nope, you're not going to let it go down. You're going to let something else come in and take a hit. Miyagi. Okay. That did nothing. That's Assault Vested as all fuck. Yeah, that is a heavy Assault Vest. That is like invested Assault Vest. Okay. So you just made things interesting. So Fernando is always my switch here, even if it is probably some sort of U-turn set. Yeah, Drain Punch, okay. Well, funny thing is, that wouldn't have killed. So this is, bear in mind, one of my opponent's Terra Captains. And as such, I don't 2-hit KO it. If it does terror on me here, but I need to I need to confirm what. Like, okay, let's get the terror out of the way now. Terra Fairy. Okay, that's good for me. You still resist the Dark Pulse. Poison jab. Yep, you pop my berry. That's fine. No poison. I get the hyper voice off. It does the square root of F all. Yeah, this thing is a problem, but now it cannot be used as an ogre switch-in. And now my Terra Ogre's Ivy Cudgel is just straight up going to go ham. I could go into Super Hands, but yeah, this Mian Chao's a problem. I'm going to need... I am definitely going to need Fernando around here. Don't really want to pop Sturdy, so I've seen Drain Punch. I don't think I'm given much of a choice. I have to go into Lilia. Because I know she can at least take one. And if that is another poison jab coming out... Okay. No poison. Fabulous. We Terra, we click Cudgel. Should do a considerable chunk. Big mask. That does over half. That's what we like to see, baby. So that means there's probably a little bit of offensive investment in this thing. I could go to Piggy here. Piggy's honestly, like, useless in this matchup now. I'm just going to go for another Cudgel. Doesn't get the roll. You're going to Toxic Spikes. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm going to click Cudgel again. Now I really wish I had packed removal on the team anywhere. But at least Gliscor's out of the way. Diego. That's Chien Pao. Diego. Oh, I've just got that. Well, it's going for Sacred Sword here. I could go out into Piggy. Like, I cannot get rid of this this poison now. Those Toxic Spikes are going to put in hella work. Yeah, this thing always kills Piggy in 2 hits, so I've got to go hard Super Hands. Because it just Sacred Swords through me otherwise. Okay, oh, that's a crit. Okay. That's annoying, but it's just one of them things. So Sacred Sword on a crit did around 150 damage. Yeah, that's jolly boots. In fact, that could very well have been max damage. So I don't think you're staying in here. So why have I not got Aqua Jet on this thing? Why have I not got Aqua Step on this? I am silly. What am I doing? I'm going to go out into Ruler of Wind now. Yeah, so we're going to catch your double switch here. Fable. Yep. Clefabulous. Sorry. Which is now going to get poisoned. I think it's a little bit silly that you take damage on the same turn that you get poisoned by Toxic Spikes. Do I Liquidation or do I Flip Turn here? Flip Turn did a considerable chunk before. Liquidation will do approximately 30% more. I'm just going to Flip Turn. Let's go Piggy. Do I go Piggy? Piggy the call? I don't think Piggy's the call. I can't afford to take any unnecessary chip right now. I can't go out into Jesus. But if I can get some unnecessary status on something. Let's do it, Pig. What we saying? Oh, he's gone stally against me. This is not fun. Fuck you. Man brought fully Spadef, Mienshao, Fable, and Gliscor against me. That's fucking horrendous. Alright. I'm reflecting. Why just stay in? Yo, nice damage, bro. Underwave. Big damage right there. Yeah, let's get you out of here. Hi, Mienshao. That was like the worst thing it could have brought him into, to be honest. Because now he gets to pass this into whoever the hell he wants. Well, Piggy paralysed the Clefable. And now you get to pass that into the freaking Ceruledge. I mean, I still now get to basically go into Lilia and click Ivy Cudgel. So yeah, this is like free. You have no resist. So you're gonna let this go down? Okay. So Ogerpon claims 2 kills. Take a little bit of chip. My reflex now gone as well. So Piggy officially did nothing. I'm gonna have to try and stall out a Clefable with a Sylveon, aren't I? Okay. So I bought hands for literally only this reason. Literally only because it switches in somewhat decently to this. Like, it's not good against anything else that's here. Big Sacred Sword. Now I'm pulling the double out into Jesus. Yep, Clefabulous. It's not very fabulous really though, is it? It's a Fizdef wish passing Clefable. It's not that fabulous. It wishes it was. It's not. God, these toxic spikes are completely cooking me. I have to try and hit this thing. Yep, you're going to withdraw. In comes the Mienshao. Miyagi. Oh, we got the burn. Oh, you know what? That could be pretty huge. In fact, that could be really huge. Because now, I think I live. Getting rid of this thing would be huge. I lose my chi in the process. But it would be huge. How else do I play this? No. I think I'm forced into this. Yeah, I'm forced. Oh, I outsped it. Oh, there's no way. Oh, that's like best case scenario for me. So it's fully Spadef, no speed. Huh. That is literally like best case scenario. So Diego comes in. Am I willing to let this thing take a hit? Do I have to? How do I break the Clefable otherwise? I let Chi go down here. My only worry is this thing setting up a Swords Dance on me. If it does, I'm in trouble. I think I still want this thing to blast through Clefable. I just don't want it. If it sets up Swords Dance here, I lose. It's that simple. If I don't hit it now and set up the sword. If you do it, fair play. If you do it, fair play. I'm prepared for that. I'm prepared to let that happen. Now I know I lose my Iron Hands here. Ice Spinner, okay. Bonk. Yeah, nice crit. Okay. So your Mon's left. You have the Chi-Yu, you have the Clefable. I can't remember what your other Mon is. But now I go Fernando, and I click Hyper Voice. Your other one is the Regidrago. Okay. If that's a Scarf Regidrago, I'm in trouble. Crash does like 41% on my Sylveon. Holy fuck. I've just got a Hyper Voice. Yeah, I couldn't risk that thing going for like Crash and trying to mess me up. So Clefabulous is here. Well, the good news is I do manage to get 3-ko if I'm... Well, of course I've got the leftovers. So I can't switch into this thing with anything I have left. Unless I wish to just let Quaquaval go down. I'm gonna wish. I do outspeed, luckily. Oh, the Power Hacks. That's pretty nasty. So I'm gonna Hyper Voice for a bit more chip. Moon Blast. You're just trying to keep me low as well. Oh, this attack drop. I will take that because now I'm about where I was before. And you're now forced. You're forced to click Wish here now. Unless you want to lose this thing. So I'm free to go out into Ruler of Wind. And click Banded Liquidation. Oh, I got the power. Ugh. That's nasty. So Grumpig actually looking like it did put in a bit of work here. Yeah, I'm just going to click Liquidation here. My goal at this point genuinely was just to try and force damage on this thing. Oh, it doesn't kill. And it gets the Wish up. Okay. So you're now forced to go for Protect. So I will get to go for another Liquidation afterwards. So you are going to withdraw, that's the Drago. Bakugan. Okay. Problem is, I can keep this thing around as a fodder, as a sack fodder. If this thing just goes for DD here, I can just get a free switch out into Fernando. But I think I need the extra chip from Liquidation here. Oh, and the defense drop. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Yeah, it is going to Dragon Dance. That is fine. I didn't really have another option there. So, how do I play this? Dragon Claw does 59.8 to 70.7 if it's Jolly +1. I might have a chance to kill, no, to live the hit. I shouldn't take poison damage here. This is the way it has to go. I have to live this hit, which I should do at +1. From where I'm at, I should kill this. Earthquake, I should live this. Oh, I don't live it. Was that a roll? Yeah, that was never a roll. Oh. Fuck. Yeah, I think this is over. Doesn't do much to my Sylveon, like 32%, but it's enough, I think. Yeah, it's enough. It's not a fun fucking time for anyone involved. Because this is just going to put it in range. Explosion. Oh, it's not. What the fuck? Why? Like, what is the point of that? Such a stupid set. Like, in a good way. That's just so silly, but good. That's annoying. So at that point, like, if I'd protected, I think I'd have won. Like, why would you go for that? That was just the move. Yeah, this always kills. Yeah. Damn. GG. GG. Oh, that's sad. That's a sad time. So, couple of things there. Missing the Power Whip turn 1 allowed those toxic spikes to ravage me. Obviously the burn on the Mienshao was bad, but after learning Outsped and 2-hit KO'd anyway, like, it didn't actually matter as much as I thought it would. So that was a strange game, but in a good way. Like, definitely GG for that. Like, that was a fun game. So shout out to my opponent. They played very well. Their prep, a bit confusing, very defensive. Didn't appreciate it. Bit stally at times with the, you know, the wish and the toxic spikes. I mean, they brought Clefable, Gliscor. Like, it's not fun, but like it got them the win, so I can't complain too much. But yeah, GG. Shout out to yourself. you deserve the win, and fair play. But yeah, that's gonna unfortunately be a 2-0 loss, and yeah, we'll be back for our final week of UNPL next week. So catch you later, gang. Bye bye.